Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. We are here with our daily free pick. So we have 3 picks in the NFL today. Before I jump into that, ugly day yesterday, guys. We went 1-3 in college. Not ideal. As I always do, I went back through my picks, winners and the losers. We were betting against the public every single game. I like the picks. Just, forward to that, I went and I looked back in the database, like historically. There's 10,800 games saved in there. And if you bet every single favorite going back in that 10,800 games, you would lose 2.9% of your money. If you bet every underdog, you'd only lose 2.4%. So the value historically has been on the dogs. I mean, obviously betting dogs or just betting favorites is not a winning strategy. You're going to lose money either way. But you lose 0.5% less betting dogs. And that's because there's typically more value in dogs because the public likes favorites. This year, however, to start the year in college football has been completely different. So, as I mentioned, through 10,800 college football games, the favorite has been much less profitable. But this year, at the time of me writing this, the favorites were 145 and 124 for 53.9%. So far this year, if you just bet favorites, you'd actually be making money. I don't think it's a trend that's going to last. I think that, again, this is something that is just an abnormality, a short-term thing. I think that obviously, Vegas will compensate and you'll see a trend back towards the dogs. And I don't obviously foresee a whole season of the public beating Vegas on football. It's not going to happen. So still like the picks. Didn't work out this week, 1-3. We'll be back at it next week for college football. But we have NFL this week. A couple things quickly to get into before that. I posted a video yesterday. I'm sure some of you guys saw it. A scam handicapper called me up and advised me to bet my entire bankroll on one game. That was his idea of bankroll management, I guess. So, video's online. I was gonna, draw it out to a long conversation with him, but at the end, I just ended up losing my shit on him, and he hung up. But there is some good content on there of this guy. It's a great example of what these scumbags do. So if you haven't seen the video, guys, it's in my channel. You can check it out. Good watch. Found out today there's somebody selling my picks online. Yeah. So someone's taking the picks I'm giving you guys and claiming to be their own and then selling them online. First off, I think it's pretty greasy to take somebody's picks, claim they're your picks and then try and sell them. More importantly though, at the end of the day, I want this channel to be a lot more than just giving you guys picks. I want you to take the information I'm giving you to use this in your analysis of picks, for you guys to make your own picks and become better sports bettors. Not just to blindly watch the picks and follow them. We're doing pretty good right now. We had a bad day yesterday, but we're almost at 100 free picks we've given out. And we're 58-40. So we're hitting 49.2%. We just dropped below 60% for the first time with yesterday's picks. But the point of this is not just the picks, guys. And I don't know. I just think it's weird someone selling my picks. But I don't know. After yesterday, though, you went 1-3, dude. You watch out, you might lose some clients. On to one last thing before I get into NFL picks, guys. I'm releasing a video next week. You guys should check it out. I think the title is going to be something like life-changing advance in sports betting, or I don't know, the greatest advancement in sports betting history. Guys, this is I'm very excited to show you guys this video. This is revolutionary. This is going to change the way that you guys look at sports betting. Okay, and I'm going to release that video next week, so I'm very excited. I'll give you guys a very brief sneak peek. I'm going to show you guys a way to bet on sports with no juice, zero juice, which is amazing. So instead of having to win 52.4%, anything over 50%, you're going to turn a profit, which is pretty awesome, guys. So check out that video next week. All right, let's get into it. So first pick I already released to you guys. I did a video a couple days ago entitled Emergency Pick. because I want to get that information out there as quick as possible. That pick, of course, was the New York Jets at plus 21.5. I released it early because I was concerned with AB leaving New England that we were going to see that line pull back a bit, which we have now. Unfortunately, at some books, it's down to 21. I like it at 21.5, so hopefully you guys got it in at 21.5. If not, you know, I mean, 21 is not the end of the world, but I really like that half point on there. So a few things that we like about this game. First off, betting against the public. 30% of the money, 30% of the bets. Public is still loaded up on New England. So a few, like just a couple like bits of information. I talked to you guys last week, and like last week, I know it didn't work out with Miami, but I did say that dogs getting 17 points or more were 7-1. Well, they're 7-2 now because we lost, obviously, on Miami last week, but still very compelling. The NFL is not set up for these like high spreads, okay? And this is like good example of like public overreaction to, you know, just bad teams. And New England obviously is a great team. Another little tidbit information on this game, division dogs getting less than 50% of the bets early on the season. So these are September games where the division dog is getting less than 50% of the bets are 144 and 87. So that covers 62.3% of the time. Again, very compelling number. So first bet is New York Jets plus 21.5. Second game, some of you may have guessed it. I had a couple of you guys message me saying this exact pick. Are we doing this? And we are. We're back on Miami, guys. I'm sorry. I don't want the hate email and all that stuff that I get. Guys, we're betting with the numbers here, okay? I know that, you know, people sit there and they analyze, think, oh, but this is a mismatch and that's a mismatch. Vegas does that, guys, and they do it better than anybody. And if you guys don't think, like, you know, that scam handicapper that called me today trying to push that pick, if you don't think they sit down and they analyze, you know, the matchup and this defense versus that offense, and if you just look at it that way, you'll never beat Vegas. You'll never beat Vegas because I'm sorry to say they're better than you, they're better than me, and they're better than 99.9% of the public at actually properly handicapping these games. So you have to dive deeper into the psychological aspects of the betting, into the numbers of you know, where the public's betting, that kind of stuff. So, you know, we're back on Miami. 28% of the bets are on Miami, only 29% of the money. So again, the public is fading Miami big time. Again, just here's the side. Going back, and this is actually for both games. This is applicable for the Jets and Miami, that going back to 2006, no team has ever covered a spread of 20 or more. Okay, so again, there's been a few teams that have covered 17 or more. New England did it, and another team did it like 3 years ago. So I said that bet's now like 7-2, covering 17 points. But 20 points or more, no one's ever covered it, 6-0. So one more thing on Miami, guys. And this is like kind of getting deeper into the psychological aspect of it, and that is teams that have failed to cover in the first 2 games of the year gets a lot of public hate. And this is a psychology behind it, guys. There is no love at all for Miami. But those teams that have failed to cover in the first 2 games of the year are 51 and 26. That's 66.2%. And that's because Vegas preys on you that you're going to dismiss that team as being absolute garbage. They failed to cover the spread 2 games in a row to start the year. We're not betting on them. And that's what they have here. They have 29% of the money on Miami. Miami's a good bet this week, guys. 22.5. All right, so far we got New York Jets plus 21.5. We have Miami plus 22.5. And brings us to our third pick. I actually had to redo this video because I don't know what I was doing, but I said the wrong team when I was like originally doing this. Like I talked about it. I have no idea why I was watching the video afterwards, and I'm like, what was I thinking? Anyways, so the third game, it's an afternoon game. And before I get into it really quickly, I might release the night game, like the evening game as well. I'm probably going to post that video if I do midday tomorrow, so just keep an eye out for it. But I just want to wait to see like a little bit more in terms of like where the money, there's already some like sharp plays on it, but I want to see like where the public's going, because the public typically doesn't bet that game heavily until after they've already been buried in the morning game. So I want to see where that money comes in late morning. All right, so this game, very interesting game. We have Houston and LA. So Houston and LA, both of them failed miserably last week to cover the over spread. Houston's game missed covering the over by 24 points. LA missed by 18 points. So immediately you think, okay, the public reaction to this is going to be, they're probably going to think, oh, well, you know, neither one of these teams is going to be capable of scoring. It's probably going to be an under. But we want to wait for the line. So what did Vegas do with this line? They opened up a high line at 48. I mean, I think Vegas could have opened a line at 45, 45 and a half, 46, and still had that under money. But by opening at 48, they kind of like, they showed us their hand. They showed us that they want money on the under in this game. So again, guys, this is like kind of reading between the lines. This one to me like screams that, okay, Vegas wants under money on this. I think this game is a solid overplay. Just as well, in the first 4 weeks of the year, teams that fail to cover the spread, where both teams have failed to cover the spread, when they meet the following week, are 102 and 65. So they end up playing an over game 61.1% of the time. So I mean, that alone is a solid bet. But the fact that Vegas put a line up at 48 for this game after the terrible offense showing by both teams really leads me to believe that Vegas is happy getting money on the under in this game. So that's pretty much it, guys. So that's our 3 picks today. So we have Houston and LA over 48. And we have the 2 large underdogs. That's Miami plus 22.5 and the New York Jets plus 21.5. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. Again, keep an eye out for the video that I'm going to be posting next week. I'll show you guys how to bet with absolutely no juice, just even money. You bet 100, you win 100. It's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And as always, have a very lucky day.